Welcome to the Who's Who in Guyana Business Show. In this episode, you'll hear from Coach Upasna and Coach Keon, as well as testimonials from the Road to Growth program.
Hi, my name is Coach Upasna, and I would like to say congratulations to those ladies who have just completed the Road to Growth program. It was 150 women, and I am very proud of you. Now that you have completed that session, it's not the end of the road. It is now the beginning of your journey to making your business successful. You have, in the 7 weeks that you were in the sessions and you were going through and diligently learning about your business and all the aspects of a business plan. Now you're at the crossroad of where you have a completed business plan for your business. From here onwards, as you know, we've set our goals and objectives, what it is that you would like to aspire for in the next 3 to 5 years. Now you take that business plan and put it into life now. Now you're going to assess your business and knowing the fact is that, okay, one of your objectives of it was to increase my sales by 10%. Now in order for you to do such, you obviously have to get more clients. For you to get more clients, you have to look at it is that, how am I marketing? Do I need to up my marketing strategies? Do I need to get onto the social media platforms if I'm not on the social media platform? And also, who exactly are we targeting to be able to increase those numbers? Now, all of those things, you're going to having ideas, have to be pitching, and now you have to work diligently to be able to achieve that. Now, if you have to be able to market more, now, as we said, there's so many different platforms where you have to go onto Facebook, you have to be able to know if you have to go on Instagram, you have to be on TikTok, LinkedIn. It all goes back to the fact of who that target market is. Now, if it is that you have to put up graphics and all of these things, you're not too afraid with it now. You will definitely start learning the process of how can I create simple graphics, putting up the right information, you're going to now streamline putting your mind there to how am I going to be able to achieve this. You're going to find the avenues that are available to you. Having that business plan is obviously the first step, and to keep you on track so that you can achieve that vision that you have written down for your business. Now the business plan, as you've increased your numbers, you have been able to hitting your targets, what you have set for yourself, you have to update your plan. Always keep the plan updated because, as we said, having a business plan opens new opportunities for you. Or the fact that one of such is being able to access financing. Now you need to have your plan updated because you never know when these opportunities will arise. So having it updated, so when that time comes, it's an updated plan there. You don't have to be hustling and trying to figure out, oh God, what do I need to fill in here? Or I haven't updated my plan for almost 6 months or 7 months, and you're now crunching the numbers and all of these things to be able to get it updated. Constantly update it so that you're ready for the opportunity when it knocks on your door. Having the numbers is one thing, right? But we have through the sessions you had to understand that we require to know our numbers and understand our numbers, what it is that it means for us. Now, with us not knowing our numbers or understanding the numbers, it will not be able to help us to make those decisions. Those numbers tells you, can I go into this investment, or can I go into that investment, or can I take this opportunity that is coming forth to me? Going to the fact of if it is that you're not too comfortable with it, or you haven't really streamlined the number aspect of your business. Now you possibly would be simple of going to getting a software to be able to put those numbers in, being able to having it updated and keeping your bills and recording all your income and expenses. It could be simply buying a software in terms of QuickBooks. Or if it is that you would, you know what, I'm probably feel more comfortable if it is I outsource this to someone who really knows about the accounts aspect, if you're going to go down the road of having an accountant on board now for your business to be able to have your numbers updated and having it being the fact that it is factual and it is ready for any opportunity that comes, that I can be able to take it with me. So having your business plan and having it being updated, it should be on a regular basis because you need to review your business plan constantly. As a coach, I would suggest that every month you sit down and you revisit what it is that you had written as your goals and your objectives. Please note that they could change because as business progresses, you probably hit that milestone already. Okay, what's the next target I'm heading for? So it could be changing constantly. So a review of every month would be able to keep you on track that, you know what, I am doing what I set out to do, or I have accomplished this, I'm heading on to the next step. So I'm setting new targets once again to be able to achieve. It holds you accountable because you have written it and you've told yourself this is what we need to achieve in order to get to that big vision that we've all put down in this plan. So a constant review of it at least once a month to be able to know that I am on track and we're heading to hit this we're heading to hit our vision that we have written for the business.
Visit Ale & Sons in the Movietown Mall. It has hundreds of items for you to choose from at the lowest prices and from all the top brands. Get a wide range of refrigerators, washers and dryers, microwaves, stoves, small kitchen appliances, musical instruments, and home entertainment systems. Flat screen TVs, hardware items, plumbing, a huge selection of tools, speakers and amplifiers, and lots more. We offer convenient payment options. Not sure about a product? Speak to one of our professional sales associates. They will answer all your questions. Our Movietown store is larger and more comfortable to shop. You can also visit us online at www.aleandsons.com. Everything is in stock and ready for delivery. Ale & Sons, making life better one day at a time.
Camille's Academy, Inc. We are the premier provider for private education in Guyana, and through our mission, our excellent team delivers a well-balanced curriculum that integrates technology and innovation to our educational programs to inspire children to reach their highest levels of success. Check us out at any one of our 4 locations or contact us today. Enroll now for nursery, primary, and secondary level. Camille's Academy, Inc. Be inspired to innovate.
Discover a whole new level of engine performance. Ready for the twists and turns. Ready for the road less traveled. Ready for the unexpected. Ready for the thrill. Extreme performance. Hyundai X-Tier.
As a leader, it's important to know these DISC styles so you can begin to better understand the people around you. It's also important to understand that we are all a blend of these styles. Sure, we can adapt those blends based on our environment or when a specific situation calls for one style over the other. But more often than not, we've all got to accept our DISC and learn to live, work, and play and accept these basic truths. So there you have it. We're all different, but we are predictably different.
Up next, feedback from the Road to Growth 2024 graduates.
My name is Shanae Wong. I am the proud owner of Mommy and Me. Mommy and Me GY is a maternity store that provides clothing, care products, baby accessories for moms to help them from pregnancy throughout motherhood. So that's how Mommy and Me started. My first impression of the program, I heard about the program through my manager, who was also a participant in a previous class, which was in 2023. She would have shared her experience with me, and when she did, I was excited to hear, what she would have taken away, not just the tools, but the network opportunities that she gained from that. I can really say I feel accomplished. There's still more room for growth. There's always room for growth. But with the program, it has given me so many tools that I needed as an entrepreneur to grow my business, to find solutions to the problems that are out there. So I can genuinely say I feel accomplished with what I have gained from being a participant in this program. I would definitely recommend you to have a mentor there to support you, to guide you, to share their experiences also.
I'm Giselle Denny. I am a project manager by profession with over a decade of experience. In addition to that, I am a learning and development professional with about 13 years under my belt as well. My business is Go Live Projects. It's a management and consultancy firm that aims to service individuals as well as businesses, whether small or big. What we do at Go Live Projects is we provide 3 types of services based on your need, of course. The first one would be consultation. That is, if someone just wants some guidance, if they want to identify gaps, if they want to possibly implement or change any part of their business operations, I can provide the necessary guidance based on my background. I think the biggest challenge had to do with managing my schedule. As I mentioned, I'm a project manager, and with the organization I support full-time, a lot is always happening. It's a fast-paced environment. And so making the time to leave Georgetown to travel up the East Bank and to attend the class, I needed to travel up the East Bank. And in the afternoon, traffic isn't the best. Couple that with my work schedule, trying to see what open items or work-related items I can get out of the way so that I can be available to commute earlier so that I'm not late. In addition to that, my challenge was that, truthfully, I have limited bandwidth. I am a part-time business owner, a full-time employee, a full-time mom, and I'm also an MBA student. At the time, I was also constructing my house. So I was overwhelmed, to say the least, but I managed to get there. In the end, I find that the sacrifice was really well worth it. It wasn't easy. A lot of the time, you're so mentally taxed. I'm tired. But short-term pain, long-term gain, as they say. The first thing that comes to mind is flexibility. There was one occasion where it was a challenge for me to make it to the session. Coach Keon extended an offer for me to join a different class on a different day. In addition to that, because of all the other things I have going on in my personal life, sadly, I wasn't able to complete my growth plan on schedule by the end of the course. I reached out to Coach Upasna, I think maybe a few days after the course ended, to explain to her, and she too extended some grace. To me, that is a big aid, because obviously if you don't complete your learning modules, if you don't do your growth plan, you can't say that you're qualified to graduate. So being flexible, being accommodating and understanding of my limitations, that helped a great deal. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. All you need to do is take that step, make a start, sacrifice what you may need to because short-term pain will give you long-term gain. The value that comes out of this program is only going to enhance your knowledge and skill set personally, but it would enhance and add even more benefits to your business financially. So keep your eyes on the prize, make that step and get it done. The only blocker is yourself.
So now, ladies, that you have completed your Road to Growth program, the Sherry Blair Foundation for Women is offering other programs. The next rollout will be Road to Leadership. Now, Road to Leadership, ladies, is 4 weeks of where it is that it stems from starting to learn about leadership, learning about advocacy, communication, and public speaking. Now, all these 4 modules are very essential for us, that women in business, that we require as leaders. We have to know how to lead. Then obviously, if you have to lead, you have to know how to speak, and then how to communicate what it is that you want to get over. It's communicated in the right way. And of course, being in an environment, if it is you want to change, the only way we can get a change is if we do something about it, so we can be able to advocate for this change to happen. Going into practice, our applications for the Road to Leadership has already been launched. So do check on the Action Invest Facebook page, Instagram page, or check on even the Her Venture app. You will also find the application form, or even check in your WhatsApp groups where it is. Now the only way you're eligible for this course is you have to complete Road to Growth. So I look forward to all of you to apply for the next rollout of leadership, and obviously to see you in the session. Thank you.
Up next, Coach Keon talks about the importance of marketing.
Hi everyone, Coach Keon Smith here, and today I want to share with you a bit on marketing, but to be a bit more specific on how do you ensure you can work on building a strong brand presence online. Let us face the fact, marketing is more than just doing a printed ad, doing flyers, doing business cards, and having uniforms or a billboard. We have to accept that in today's day and age, marketing is really streamlining on the digital platform. So as an organization, as a business, we need to ensure that we can have a very strong brand presence online. And today I want to share with you a few tips on how to build a strong brand presence online. So tip number 1 is going to be to ensure that you can clearly define your brand identity. Just as it sounds, your brand identity, which means we need to have the critical elements that when people see or hear our message, they can quickly know who that company is and what it's promoting. So 1, you want to establish a clear brand mission, vision, and of course the values that you want your brand to promote. So whether you want that brand to be known for quality, for speed, you want it to be known for efficiency, you want it to be known for bringing joy, removing pain, whatever it is, whatever the values are, you want to make sure that those messages are very clear when you are putting your brand out there. The next part in defining your brand identity is that you want to create a very unique brand voice and personality that really speaks to your target audience. Now, what does that mean? A brand voice would be, what is the general message that your brand is promoting? For example, if you look at Coca-Cola, their general brand voice is that they want to bring happiness to the people that are using the product. Hence why you'll find most of their ads are surrounding family or friends or some kind of festivity. If you look at, for example, like Nike, their brand voice is more on getting things done, looking at athleticism. It's more about just being you and doing what you need to get done. Hence their slogan, just do it. If you look at maybe some of the insurance companies, and they all have their different brand voices, not only from using a unique voice to do the voiceover. For example, for Allstate has their unique voice, Geico has the unique voice and character. So what they do is create that unique thing that really resonates with the audience as best as they could. And that's what makes it so memorable, because we're always seeing tons of ads all over every single day. You want to make sure that your logo that you're designing, it's memorable, it's visually appealing. You want to ensure that your logo is not difficult for people to understand. It's not difficult for persons to recognize. It is not busy, which means it has so many different parts to the logo that makes it, again, incredibly hard for persons to recognize it. And of course, we can always tap into some of the more popular logos that we can see around, that I can, even if I just gesture the sign, you would all know what brand I'm talking about. So for example, if I show you the little swoop, you already know which brand is it representing. I show you a nice yellow M, you know which brand it's representing. So this is what you want, that your business, your organization can create a very memorable logo that it can stand up by itself when it's out there. Number two, you want to develop a very user-friendly digital platform, whether that's going to be a website, etc. So you want to make sure that any social media platform that you are creating or using, that it is user-friendly. Two, you are very responsive on those platforms. Not when somebody sends a message today, they get a response 4 days after. That does not all go well for build a good client relationship and building a great prospective client database. So you want to make sure that whatever you're using, you can be very responsive, it can be easy for them to navigate. You want to ensure that you provide valuable content on those platforms, where you're more focused on educating your prospective client and current clients and keeping them engaged versus always just trying to sell something to them. So something for you to really consider, putting a lot of effort into giving them the backstory, educating them on the product or service that you offer, so that when they have to make a choice, let's say somebody else comes with a lower price, they're now so educated they can ask that new person the right questions. And more than likely, if they're just going to go on price, it means they weren't your customers to begin with, they were just price shoppers. All you need to do, again, once you educate them, they will ask the right questions. And if they realize that that person kind of provided them with the right answers, then they'll stay with you or they'll come right back to you. You want to optimize your SEO to increase your visibility. SEO is your search engine optimization, which means using keywords and or phrases when you're developing your platforms, so that when persons are searching for anything along the line of business that you offer, you can be one of those businesses or organization that pops up in their search, and that is very, 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 very critical. Number three, you want to make sure that you engage with your audience on your platform. We find that this is one of the areas that really needs to be paid attention to, because very often we create the platforms, we put information out there, persons are commenting, they're liking, and we do nothing with that information. We don't respond to the messages as we should, or in some cases we just put a thumbs up or a like on the person's response. What that does, it doesn't really help to raise the level of engagement. The more engagement there is on a post, the more the algorithm is going to push that post. The more the persons who commented first, their friends are going to be able to see it as well. So you want to be in a position where you're always interacting on your posts. And I'm not saying to be overbearing and then you start just dropping said information. You respond accordingly. And even if somebody ask you for the price and the price is already there, it is not for you to get sarcastic with the person and say, well, can't you see it's up there? No, you respond as if it was never there, because that augurs well for your degree of customer service and maintaining, again, good interaction on your page. You want to make sure you respond to all comments and questions on a timely manner. And the final part you want to do is to create a community where you can have potential customers or community-based focus items, so that the content that you're putting out there is relevant to your target. For example, I've seen many digital platforms, they have these good morning things with the little cats and dogs and ducks in them. Fantastic, beautiful. You want to keep that for your non-professional page, where you can share those forwards and memes, etc. What you want to do is to make sure you keep your page as professional as you possibly can. And you can, of course, send out your general greetings. If it's a holiday, it's a season coming up, fine, fair enough. But you don't want to be scrolling through and I'm seeing random pictures with cats and ducks and so on it. It doesn't really help to build your image, your strong brand image on these different platforms. So those are the top 2 things I would like to share with you. And just to add one little bonus, if you can work on getting testimonials from your customers, from your clients, and you can post those on the page, that also helps to build a strong brand and your brand image, because now other persons can see that there are other people just like them who are enjoying your product and or your service. So please make sure that, 1, you work on defining your brand identity. You want to make sure that you develop a good and user-friendly platform, whether it's a website, Facebook, etc. You want to make sure that you engage with your audience as much as you possibly can, and seek testimonials you can add to your page to help you to build your strong brand identity online. Coach Keon saying thank you. See you in the next episode.
Visit Ale & Sons in the Movietown Mall. It has hundreds of items for you to choose from at the lowest prices and from all the top brands. Get a wide range of refrigerators, washers and dryers, microwaves, stoves, small kitchen appliances, musical instruments, and home entertainment systems. Flat screen TVs, hardware items, plumbing, a huge selection of tools, speakers and amplifiers, and lots more. We offer convenient payment options. Not sure about a product? Speak to one of our professional sales associates. They will answer all your questions. Our Movietown store is larger and more comfortable to shop. You can also visit us online at www.aleandsons.com. Everything is in stock and ready for delivery. Ale & Sons, making life better one day at a time.
Camille's Academy, Inc. We are the premier provider for private education in Guyana, and through our mission, our excellent team delivers a well-balanced curriculum that integrates technology and innovation to our educational programs to inspire children to reach their highest levels of success. Check us out at any one of our 4 locations or contact us today. Enroll now for nursery, primary, and secondary level. Camille's Academy, Inc. Be inspired to innovate.
Discover a whole new level of engine performance. Ready for the twists and turns. Ready for the road less traveled. Ready for the unexpected. Ready for the thrill. Extreme performance. Hyundai X-Tier.
It's important to know these disc styles so you can begin to better understand the people around you. It's also important to understand that we are all a blend of these styles. Sure, we can adapt those blends based on our environment or when a specific situation calls for one style over the other. But more often than not, we've all got to accept our DISC and learn to live, work, and play and accept these basic truths. So there you have it. We're all different, but we are predictably different.
Up next, Brad Sugars and Daniel Aronson discuss why values matter personally and in business.
For me, the big kind of aha moment was the relationship between who I am and what I do.
How do you bring out the values in your life? How do you bring out the values in your work? How do you bring out values in companies? Daniel Aronson is going to take us through why values matter.
2,000 years ago, Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "Have I done something for the common good, then I share in the benefit."
Your premise is so strong that values actually do impact the bottom line. So Daniel, first question, your definition of success. How do you define it?
My definition of success is it's good to have all the trappings, right? The financial security and so on. But what's really important in success is to live who you are, to embody your values, and to leave the world a better place.
Dang, there's some depth in that one. Hang on, well, let's go backwards a little way. Obviously, that wasn't your definition as a young man. It's evolved. How did you evolve to that, and where did your definition start, do you think? Where do you think you started thinking about success?
Well, as a young man, of course, I wanted to, get good grades, get a good job. I used to look at the magazines and say, wow, that Porsche looks really cool. I want one of those. But I realized eventually that things are okay. But what was going to really be satisfying was like when I did tutoring in high school and in college, I got a satisfaction out of doing something good, regardless of whether I made money, regardless of whether I could put a down payment on the Porsche.
So let's go back to that overall definition then and unpack it just a little bit. Being yourself. Tell me more about that philosophy and how that one came about.
Well, for a long time, there are a lot of the philosophers and people. 2,000 years ago, Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "Have I done something for the common good, then I share in the benefits." Now, lots of people have lots of different values. And in the book that I wrote, I focus on a specific type of values that really resonate with me and I think with a lot of other people, which is doing good for the world and those who live in it.
Yeah. Where do you think in your life you chose success as your performance standard, as your way of being?
It's funny. I think I had to choose success many times. I think almost anything you have to choose over and over. One of my mentors said to me, "This is great, right? You're doing good work. Clients like you, but is this really who you are? Why wait another day to make your work reflect who you are?" And that was the next time that I chose success, but the deeper success.
What is your theory on how success happens? Like, is there a formula to it? Are there certain ingredients? What's your philosophy or theory on it?
To me, the big kind of aha moment was the relationship between who I am and what I do. So there's the resources, relationships, routines, all that's all good, right? But one of the interesting things is that values, who you are, affects all of these components of success, and yet people miss them. People, they do better work when they're connected. It's not that people don't know, right? This is the difference between the intellectual and the values, right? It's not that people don't know, oh yeah, what I'm doing is good for the customer or good for the company or sometimes good for the world. But when I connected it to what really mattered for me, and I think this is true for other people as well. There was a survey of millennials that if they look back, if you put yourself 5 years forward in your career, 10 years forward in your career, the pay isn't the thing that you're going to be proud of. the managerial responsibility isn't going to be the thing. It's the contribution to the world. And KPMG found this for all the generations that they studied. They were 50% more satisfied. They were more likely to be promoted. They were more likely to stay with the company across all the generations when their managers and the employees had conversations about core values.
Hey, you're on the Big Success Podcast. I'm Brad Sugars. We're going to be back in just a moment. Daniel's going to take us into the whole value of values.
Without the proper methodologies and strategies, building a wealthy life can be difficult. If you're struggling with building wealth yourself, this is the time to join Brad Sugars' 30X Wealth Program. The 30 videos in this program will help you learn how to make your money work for you, rather than you working for it. Create the life of your dreams.
And we're back. Big Success Podcast. Hopefully you've hit that subscribe button. Daniel, value of values. Let's first of all look at it from a personal life, okay? People don't often have to, they don't often sit down and examine their values. Tell me more about the philosophy of how that plays out in life.
Yeah, the way that plays out is twofold. One is to take a look at the contribution you want to make. As I said, making the world better and those who live in it better off. But the second thing, and this is, I think, a little bit less common and a little bit more concrete, is to look for the intersection of the things that you care about, the things that customers or clients need, and the things that the world needs.
Hey, just a quick one. When I look in the back end of this, and it was something that's quite surprising to me, I noticed that it says that 82% of you who watch the channel regularly haven't hit the subscribe button yet. So it'd be of great favor if you could hit that subscribe button. Let me tell you why. See, over the lifetime of the channel, we scale the show and get better guests, better production, better everything by having the number of subscribers. So if you hit subscribe, it helps us plan better, do more, get better guests, and so on. Scaling production and making the show bigger is something we all want. We want more success for you, we want more success for the show, and we want to be able to get the best guests to give you the best information. So, one favor, click that button. If you've watched this show before and enjoyed it, just please click that button to subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and make sure you're part of it. Because as the show gets better, your success gets better. Simple as that. I promise I'm willing to make you. Do we have a deal? If you do better and subscribe, I'll get better guests and make it a better show. Thanks for subscribing.
If you do something good socially, if you could do something good environmentally, it changes preference for both consumers and B2B. The second is it changes operations. Because when you put on your values lenses, when you think differently, when you go looking for this, you see something different. And then employees care, right? Employees, they want to contribute to the world in addition to making a living. They want to make a living and make a difference. And when you put these four things together, almost any company with almost any value that it wants to express, whether it's social or environmental, whether it's around their community or around the world at large, can find a way to make this connection.
So if we connect the values, ultimately, your premise is so strong that values actually do impact the bottom line, right?
Right.
How do you get leaders to actually see that then? Do you have to give them economics, or do they actually get it at some point?
Well, there are really two stages. The first is to sort of crystallize the intuition, right? And intuitively, it makes sense, right? Intuitively, if you demonstrate your values and customers know about that, then they care. If employees know about that, then they care. And it engages them and so forth, right? So intuitively, this makes sense.
The people side of it. Got it.
Right. The people, and the thing is that what I say is where people are, values matter. And that's everywhere.
Where people are, values matter.
Right? Because even in big companies, the buying is done by people, right? Why do salespeople take their customers out to dinner? Does it change the price or quality of their product? It does not. And then is moving from this idea that it's peripheral and therefore unimportant. And there's a story about this too, which is people would say to me, yeah, that's nice, but values, they're not the most important thing. It's price, quality, style, fit, availability, what have you. Values are like the icing on the cake. And the thing is, I would say to them, you're right. You are right. But if you go into a bakery, what do you notice? All the cakes are iced.
You're on the Big Success Podcast. We're going to be back with Daniel. We're going to talk about going massive on these things.
Daniel Aronson is the founder of Valuetus, which specializes in creating value through sustainability and responsibility, the creator of the Value of Values model, and the author of the book, The Value of Values. To learn more about Daniel Aronson, please visit valuetus.com.
And we're back. Did you hit subscribe? I hope you did. Daniel, when you look at companies that are doing good versus companies that are doing great, obviously values has a part to play in that. How much does values play the difference between good and great?
It makes a big difference according to how big a difference it makes in their business model and how much people know. The way that I talk about it is differentiation times equals advantage, which means that number one, how differentiated are you, right? It's good if you have a product that with one client, they said, how much does it make a difference in preference if the product is 100% recycled or if the factory it's made in has better labor standards? And it turns out it's a big difference, 20%, 30%. But you can also see companies that have an entire business model that they change that makes a big difference, where they go from, one of the classic examples is we go from selling this thing to you to leasing it to you. And this makes a huge difference in terms of the impact, the environmental impact and so forth in the world, but also the company then has the incentive to really take care of this thing. And so, for example, car companies, when you lease the car, they'll throw in scheduled maintenance. Why? Because the product is worth more when they get it back.
Yeah.
Right? The world is like that too, right? That you lease this thing, you take care of it. When they resell it or when they lease to somebody else or when they use it to make another product, it's in better condition. But that kind of putting things into the business model, that differentiation makes a big difference.
How does a leader start the shift?
The beginning of the shift is that intersection that I talked about before, but from an organizational perspective, the intersection between what do the people in the company need, what do the customers or clients need, and what does the world need? And the thing is that what the world needs matters tremendously, in part because that's the direction that your customers are going to go, right? One of my friends works at a very large company, and they just had to ship something by air from Europe instead of by sea because the water level in the Panama Canal fell enough that they actually couldn't get the ship through on schedule. Now, if you look out in the world and you say, this is what's happening in the world, this is what the world needs, well, that's a good direction for both being prepared for that and also creating revenue opportunities and creating customer relationships to bring those in. That's the beginning.
How do they start bringing the values out in the company?
There are a few different ways. One is to have this deeper conversation with the C-suite and so forth. Okay, we're here to succeed and so on, all that, yes. But what are we here? What's the purpose that we want to bring out? That sounds kind of vague, but when you actually have the conversation, people are often willing, in fact, kind of hungry to talk about what's deeper beneath. The second thing is you can do this with all employees, even employees who, when you ask them, they don't respond. You can do it electronically and so on. They want to be asked.